standing up? I'm getting ready.
I'm up.
We're getting ready now.
Drag it out. Okay. As soon as we get the recorder going, we'll get this meeting going, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance and go from there.
You're famous.
Ready? We'll wait for Buddy to get his chair.
Just go ahead now. Stand right here.
Okay, stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good evening, everybody. Let's start with the minutes from our last meeting.
Thursday from
We're going to do the regular
Maybe
meeting
Wednesday,
first.
Friday.
You guys have a chance to look over it and see if there's any changes, additions, mistakes.
Due to printer problems, we got them a little bit late. I haven't looked them over much, but
Anybody want a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting as they stand.
I'll second that.
And I will vote yes.
Roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany? Yes.
Okay, let's move to the special meeting that we had on the Saturday, January 22nd. That was for training expenses, mileage, and that for the Township Association meetings down in Columbus. And also to approve the grant for the fire department. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the meetings of the special trustee meeting January 22nd as they stand as well.
And I'll second that also.
And yes. Christie, roll call?
Oh, sorry. Roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany? Yes.
Okay, as far as the financial, it is not, there's a computer glitch, printer glitch going on right now, so we're not able to print those off, so we could review those. So worst case scenario, if we need to do a special meeting, if there's a problem, or we can just look at it at our next meeting, so.
That for the next meeting.
Yeah, unless there's something on there that's a red flag that we need to have a special, so. With that being said, communications, Christie.
NOPEC sent us a letter. Congratulations, Deerfield Township is receiving a NOPEC Energized Community Grant of $7,418 for 2022. We've received this in the past. I believe we have some carryover money as well to add to this as well.
What is their carryover, do you know?
I'm not
Does
sure
it
what
give
the
us that
carryover is.
total or not?
They have it on the website that I can
Okay.
look it up.
This year, what, seven what?
7,418 for 2022.
Okay,
I'll make the motion we accept that grant from NOPEC, because we do have to make a motion to accept that funding from NOPEC.
I'll happily second that.
and yes,
Roll call. Mark?
yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
And then Deerfield Township has $1,500 available through the Community Event Sponsorship Program. You have 2 steps to complete the process. If we do this early submission by February 15th, our community could double this sponsorship award, but we need to make a motion of who we want this to be awarded to in order for me to fill that out by tomorrow.
So it needs to go to a special grouping within
the township.
can we split that up into two different ones? The money, or three for that matter?
I don't believe so. I believe it has to go to all one.
What we've done in the past when that's become available is we've motioned to nominate the Civics Association to have that,
And I'm
and they
good with
would
that,
turn,
too.
give that back to us to use for event or projects or something that we need. They've got their information, they are a 501c3 and all that, so
You
that
want a
meets their
motion then?
criteria. I'll make a motion that $1,500 that we donate to the Civic Association. And you can get the paperwork in time.
I'll second.
Yes.
Roll call, Mark?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
And I believe it has to be used for an organization that sponsors something for the township.
For the township.
Like the Apple Butter Festival. or-
Right.
Correct.
That's
Right,
right.
that's what falls underneath there. Yep.
Okay, the Portage County Commissioners sent their resolution number 22-0012 to reduce the load limits 35% on all county and township roads in Portage County effective January 31st, 2022, or as soon as thereafter as signs are posted.
Okay, do we need to do a motion on that, or is that just something that they're letting us know what's
That's just
going on?
information they sent us.
Chris Nichols is running, he's a candidate for the Ohio Township Association Board of Directors. He's a Canton trustee. He said, unfortunately, our township unexpectedly lost one of our trustees a few weeks ago. We are quickly approaching the statutory deadline to appoint a new trustee by next Tuesday. 3 special meetings this week related to the appointment process and will keep me from being at an OTA conference on Wednesday night to address you in person during the County Association Officers meeting. He'd like to apologize for his absence, but his priority clearly needs to be back home this week. Despite my absence, I am humbly asking for your consideration to vote in the Board of Directors election to be held on Thursday. For your reference and information, I have attached a copy of my letter of interest and resume submitted to the Ohio Township Association. And he's a current Canton Township trustee.
So they're replacing one. Is that what I'm getting out of that?
No, I believe he's just not able to go down to the meeting, but he's asking for support.
Okay, is there any other candidates that,
Yes, we have one other candidate that sent us information. His name is Josh Gerf. He's a trustee in Anderson Township, located in eastern Hamilton County, Cincinnati, Ohio. He's one of the candidates running to join the OTA Board of Directors and has attached both the cover letter he's submitting to the nominating committee as well as a profile of why he's running, his experience as trustee, and what he hopes to contribute to the OTA Board of Elected. I welcome any questions and I appreciate your consideration.
so in the past, I know we've always liked to keep our vote for people that are close to
Someone
us.
close to us and understands what we go through.
This area, Hamilton County is down in Columbus, I think, Columbus or Cincinnati area. So he's Canton Township, and, I mean, that's my thoughts, my opinion.
Have a look at the letters after the meeting and look into
Are
it a
they-
little bit more.
Now, will the OTC send us a ballot for that or not?
They have in the past. I don't know if
They
that's
usually
just an
send it-
informational letter they sent us or not. They have before. Once they get who wants to run, they've sent us a ballot before, basically.
What's the date on these?
Because I think that's what they normally do, is the OTC sends us a ballot with the people on it. That could just be like a resume.
It looks like the election was on January 27th based on Chris Nichols.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of late unless something got canceled down there.
Yeah.
I thought there was a death.
Yeah, but it looks like it was on Thursday, which would have been,
All right.
we've been
Okay,
set.
all right.
That's all I have for communications.
Okay, Ed, do you have anything?
Nothing additional.
Tiffany?
Not for communications, no.
And I do not either. Go to the fire department. Mr. Vaughn.
All right, from year-to-date fire reports, EMS calls 58, fires 2, smoke investigations 2, auto accidents 3, brings us to a total of 65. Now, that doesn't count the auto accident that just happened here a little while ago. In the last month, we've had 14 members attend an OFRS class, an Ohio Fire Reporting Systems class, to learn how to enter and make fire reports to the state. And it was taught by the Ohio State Fire Marshal's Office. We learned a lot there. And that's also part of trying to teach all members to be able to do all different facets and stuff instead of just having one person doing the reports. So we did have a lot of good come out of that.
Where was that at?
That was here at the town hall.
Okay.
So that was free through the fire marshal's office. Okay, new hire. I did do an interview for Mr. Lehman. I have his resume, which is quite lengthy for you to look at. He is a paramedic firefighter. He currently works for Marlboro and Hartville. However, his Hartville schedule doesn't work as well as what our schedule would work. He comes with some good references, and I would ask that you approve him. He is able to work staffing, and he does a little bit, he does live a little bit outside our jurisdiction. He is in Atwater, but he said he still would be able to respond. It's not that far away.
Yeah, and on the road, that's not that
Okay, the big thing is to be able to work hours and
Yes,
staff.
that's what he's looking at. He is a paramedic, Firefighter II. You can see he's got a number of different certificates. He actually, this is his second career. He worked for Kent State and retired from there, maintenance department, and went and got his EMT, or paramedic and firefighter class.
Yeah, because wasn't there a couple of them from Marlboro that was looking to come this way?
There
They
is.
were waiting for to see what our,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, and he's the first one so far that's filled out an application, and I did due to my injuries, I had to do a phone interview, but was very impressed, and I think he would be an asset to our department.
So how are we doing with our roster as far as those folks who maybe respond one time a year? How's that? Are we
I'm
losing
looking-
any to be able to add?
Yes, we are. There was one member that hasn't been around for a while. I don't even think he finished his probationary members, so he will take this spot. I've talked to one, I'm doing them a little at a time, but I've already talked to one member about their participation and what they're going to do forward. He's looking at a promotion at work, and depending on what hours that would provide for him, he has to let me know at the end of the month. And I will keep going through once a month. I'll be going through and talking to different people and seeing what we can do, but that's on my
Well,
list.
I will make a motion to approve Hal Lehman on obviously a probationary
What
period
type of
of
probation, we're looking at 6 months?
1 year.
Whatever you-
It's normally 1 year, but that's for people that aren't already trained. It gives them a year to get trained. I know our association is usually 6 months or a year unless they become trained earlier than that, then it is 6 months, but that's up to you. I think that's just a.
Will he be exclusive with our fire department, or are we sharing him?
We will be sharing him with Marlboro. He does 1 24-hour shift a week in Marlboro. But as far as that, I do believe
Is he here this evening?
he was unable to make it this evening to prior.
Will he be able to come to a meeting so we can meet him
Oh,
in the near future?
What's your time frame to getting him started?
ASAP.
All right, so that motion will be,
I've already checked, and he will go through a 2-day training with one of our other paramedics there, just to get to know Deerfield and know how we run and operate things there, and then,
so we're on a 6-month probation, is what you're talking?
I think
Is
that
what you
would
want to
be-
go?
I think that would be-
All right, so on that motion, it will be a 6-month
Probationary
period, so. And then, obviously, we need to bring him into a meeting so we can meet him, so that's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
Yes,
Roll call, Mark,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Tiffany.
yes.
Okay, turnout gear grant. A couple years ago, we got a grant to buy all new turnout gear. And we're finally coming down to the point to finalize this. There was $1,385 left in that to spend. And so we went ahead and ordered some boots, helmets, and shields to finish that out so that we can get reimbursed. We've actually had about $50,000 sitting out waiting to be reimbursed.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting that back once that's finalized and paid. We'll have to show them a picture of the canceled check and stuff where they're paid. So I don't know, Christie, do they need it okay to buy that stuff?
If it's over 500, yes.
It was 1,385. So you got the, she's got the invoices.
I'll make the motion that we pay that 1,000 plus some dollars for the fire department gear.
I'll second it, but I don't think we need to make it because we approved spending that $50,000 grant, and this is part of that.
Yeah.
So I don't
Wasn't
think
sure
it's
how much.
This
necessary,
wasn't a
but
match that we did, this was just fully taken out of that grant.
we pay for it and they reimburse us after we show the credential or the paperwork that this is what we bought for.
So I know
that
some of those
$50,000.
grants are 50/50, but
Yeah.
No, this one, actually, I do think it was like a 10% or something.
But I will second it just in case, but I don't think it's necessary.
yes,
Roll call, Mark?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes,
Tiffany?
yes.
All right, now we're moving on down to 1411, the ambulance repair. The cot loading system malfunctioned last week, causing the ambulance to go out of service. We was able to get it looked at and put back and working the same day. We were very lucky on that. However, there is a lot of repairs that needs to be done and to be replaced, parts that need to be replaced. So far, a guesstimate cost to repair this would be $8,500. The system is in the cot as well as in the ambulance, so it's mechanical systems that it's in the cot and then also the mechanism that lifts it up into the ambulance. Hydraulics, motors, charging systems, and etc. This unit is 15 years old and was purchased by a workman's comp grant. From what we can see and what the repairman can see, it doesn't look like there's been any preventative maintenance done. Now it is $52,000 to replace the unit. I recommend that we okay a purchase or a service contract agreement for $1,000. This would include 2 checkups here. This is what the cot manufacturer recommends. After we purchase this contract, they will come out, service the cot, loading assembly, along with a stair chair, which we also have by the same company. And then they will give us actual what it would cost to repair and bring it completely up, to finish all.
Okay, so it's $1,000 per year,
And they come out
and that's
twice a
for
year.
2 checkups.
Yes.
what do those checkups, what is
Program-
included in that?
Okay, the program summary on this includes all labor and travel costs, includes 2 annual PM inspections, includes typical PM parts, which is basically just stuff that normally goes wrong with them. Includes unscheduled repair calls. All parts are on the repair cars, billable on the repair calls. So if we have to call them in, the parts there would have to be billed. It includes product equipment checklist. Replaced parts do not include mattress, batteries, electronic, hydraulics, and consumables. So basically, I look at this as a pretty good insurance program because I talked about this when I first took over, because with this cot system being so old and being all mechanical and stuff.
That's where the problem I have. We haven't had that ambulance 15 years.
No, it come in the other ambulance.
We took it out of the old ambulance to put it into this one.
I remember when we got it with our workman's comp grant. I didn't think it was that long ago, but obviously it has been that long ago, so.
So, but basically, without this service contract, I would be worried if a patient were to get hurt, if that would malfunction and drop or fall or something, and we didn't have them check it periodically to make sure everything's in good shape. So I look at this as insurance to cover our butts, plus it will save us money on this repair coming out.
And where do they take the repairs to be done?
They do the majority of them right in-house.
Okay. Includes all labor and travel costs, but does not include parts.
Only normal wearable parts, like PM stuff. I don't know what that includes personally. Scott, Kent uses them for all theirs twice a year. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Scott?
Yeah, so the reason that we were able to get the cot put back in service is because that call happened about 6 a.m. They had to bring the ambulance back to the station with 2 feet of the cot sticking out of the back door because they couldn't get the cot back in. I just happened to be going to work at Kent that morning, and the company that we have service our cots there was there. And I said, I need a big favor. And they said, get the squad here. So they did about $1,000 worth of work in about an hour and a half on that cot to get it back in service off the books. Just so that we could get that cot back in service and get our squad back in service. So we've used that company at Kent for about 15 years, and they're a very reputable company. If we go with Stryker, who makes the cot, they're out of Pittsburgh, and they're typically a lot more because they have a bigger need. So the gentleman that worked on it said there's never been any servicing done with this company. So I think that's
Well,
where
we had a couple issues before in the past, but I think Stryker was the one who came out and worked on it. And it was the same thing, it was with the cot.
the locking system that was in there is a 14-year-old locking system. He said if anybody would have done maintenance, it would have been replaced at least 3 times since then. So it was the original.
I don't remember that.
So right now, as it stands, you're saying it's $8,000 to fix it. It's operational now.
Right, but they did the work and they didn't charge us for it.
But if we get the service contract, that $8,000 is going to be covered into that $1,000. Is that
We
accurate?
actually have to lift the legs of the cot up with our foot to get the hydraulics.
That will cover the repair.
Is that because the hydraulics are
Service costs coming out.
leak? They can't,
No,
But
the
not the
hydraulics need
parts,
replaced.
the labor, and because those have not been serviced for so long, they're probably not under warranty at all.
No.
all right, well,
I think we're definitely ahead, and then,
obviously, again, this is the only thing that they have. They don't have an actual contract. This is their
That's the service
contract.
contract. Once the service contract is signed, it'll officially come out. But he was doing this off the books. So he couldn't really fix the cot the way that it needed to be done because it
So
was.
it's jury rig right now. Base. All right, thoughts on this, guys?
A lot of money, but again, our new one's $52,000, so
I can tell you what, this saves a lot of our backs.
I have no doubt about that.
So you get two,
We've
twice a
already-
year.
We've already got to spend roughly about $8,000 to get it fixed anyhow. So to add that $1,000 in there and probably get it off that $8,000 anyhow for the first year of contract, I think it's a no-brainer.
Okay, so let me ask you this, on the $8,000 repair, what's that repair that they do warranted for, at least a year? Do we know?
I would imagine more than a year.
Well, that's, it's like, be nice to know before you spend $8,000 what kind of warranty you have. I mean, it has to be done, but
Is this a contract?
No.
It gives us an estimate.
this is just a regular service
That's a
contract.
service contract.
And it's for 2 different parts of that, the chair and the cot itself, right?
Well,
$495 a piece.
Yeah, we also have a stair chair that we use that we can carry patients up and down steps.
But that's not the,
And they check it over to make sure it's all in working order also, so that
Stretcher chair,
do
stair
we
chair.
have a detailed list or estimate of what that $8,000 repair?
Again,
This is
he
a
did
service
this
contract.
under the table.
No, I'm
So-
asking, what I'm asking you
The
is,
purpose of the service contract is to get them to come to the station to look at the squad and the cot.
Okay.
From that point, they will do an itemized list and give us an invoice of how much it's gonna be.
So you're not asking us to approve the 8,000 right now, or 8,500, you're asking us to approve this, and then we'll get a dollar amount.
Yes.
After
Okay.
they come out and do it, then we can talk about
I
that.
got you.
Based on that, I will make a motion that we enter in this service contract.
I'll second.
and I will say yes.
Roll call, Mark.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes.
Okay, moving right along, 1413 pumper, has had repairs done to it. We're still waiting on the valves for the pre-connect to replace the electronic pre-connect valves with manual ones. The electronic ones no longer work. We've replaced them a number of times. And it's just a bad setup. So
14th, 13th 's bumper.
Yes.
Okay.
So, he's already okayed that, we're still in the middle of it, but it is up working, the water leak has been fixed, and, we're in good shape so far with that. Then we're moving on to grants. We had a workman's comp grant to purchase the extractor washer and gloves, hoods, and it was finalized, and we're waiting for reimbursements. The extractor is a washing machine that we use to wash our turnout gear, that is to get rid of all the contaminants after a fire. And that was a workman's comp grant that was done previous. We also had a wildlands grant. It was also finalized in the last month. That was for projectors, some iPhones, tablets, and some GPS radios. We got that, and that's finalized, and we'll be receiving money back from that. We did get okayed for the March radio grant that we applied for, and that's roughly 38,000, actually it's 37 and some change, to update all the radios to the new March system. The whole county-wide applied for this grant, and just about everybody in the county did get it. The idea of going to this March radio system is so that we can all be on the same, basically the page, or they call them talk groups, but basically the channels, that if we were to have a major incident or an incident where we have to use outside jurisdictions, we
You'll be
can
able
talk with them.
to communicate with anybody in the state, correct?
Correct, and basically it's also a wider range. It's the same thing the sheriff's department uses. Ben has gone through them already.
OSP is on the Mark's radio systems.
Okay, so how many Marks radios do we have? Because I know in the past we have bought and
Yes.
spent quite a bit of money on these things already.
Yes. We do have a number of March radios. There's a number of them, I don't have the exact numbers.
I know we had new ones, but then we also got some donated from the turnpike or the toll, yeah.
Now, those are
Need
not going to
service.
be able to go to the new system.
Right.
Okay? So there is a way that we can trade those in and get money off of the new ones, so that we can actually get more radios for this grant than what we...
They've made some changes in those since we
Correct.
were given
Now,
those.
the newer
Ryan
ones-
Shackelford told me
Yeah.
that we can't incorporate them into our new stuff.
Now, the
So
newer ones will, and we'll work with the system, and that's just a bonus on how many radios we got.
Is this a matching grant, non-matching grant? This is a
This is a total payout.
100% grant. We buy and they reimburse.
Okay, because I know in the past, we went over that for how many radios that we thought we needed. We didn't think we needed it for every single person on the department. We thought one at the station and one in each truck,
But
one
that
for
was
the
when we
chief.
were paying for.
We were paying for them.
and
Now,
Right.
this
now
is
we're not paying for
free
them.
money.
Now, there's repeaters and there's other things, correct? That can be bought with that, just not radios.
I believe it's all.
Is there anything else needed to go with that?
No, we went through and we're actually working on getting the exact dollar amount per radio, and we'll have that at the next meeting.
Okay.
To be okay. There's also a safer grant. We talked about the special meeting. Thanks to Scott and Nancy for doing all the hours of legwork getting that through. Also a AFG grant that they did for new Scott air packs. Those are the breathing air.
Now, that grant's turned in, we just don't know anything yet.
Correct.
If we got
I
awarded.
believe August or July?
August.
August, we'll know more in August for that. Okay, next up, Scott's working on a Firehouse subs grant for extrication equipment. More information be to come. That grant hasn't opened up yet. The association is purchasing ice rescue equipment to replace some of the outdated, wore out equipment, ropes, the submersion suits, and that's being paid for by a donation from the Sirenettes, actually. So we will be hosting a boaters education class March 19th at the station. That's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's open to the public. That's the class that it takes to get your driver's license, basically for a boat. Anybody born after January of 1981, I believe, is required to have this driver's license to be able to operate a boat on the waters.
1982.
82, I was close.
You were close.
I've been doing this for years, I'm forgetting that. Shout out to the maintenance workers for keeping the station and parking lots pad clear of snow for the last few weeks in the snowstorm. I actually had to roll out of bed at 4 in the morning when I heard a neighboring department call for help because their ambulance was stuck on their pad. I'll remain them nameless. And I thought, well, I wonder what our pad looks like. So we got to the station and they had already had it pushed away and the ambulance was free to go. So shout out to them, thanks. They usually make a round or two through the station, just open it up for us, and then they come back and clean it up and they're done. So, and also shout out to them for putting the cabinets on 1426. They look great, and we'll be using them. Shout out to Tiffany Beeson for completing her EMR certification. And also the Sirenettes will be holding a pancake breakfast at our station April 2nd. More information to follow on that.
Terrific.
Scott also, a couple weeks ago, went down to Columbus to a fire chief's officer symposium and got a lot of good information for us and some good information on grants and stuff. So thanks for doing that, Scott. Okay.
All done? Anybody have anything on the fire department they want to talk about?
Yes.
Yes.
AA Hammersmith Insurance sent their invoice for the Ohio Public Works Insurance Company for the policy from March 29, 2022 through March 29, 2003. The amount is $1,221.
Who's that through from?
AA Hammersmith Insurance Company. Out
I
of
will
Alliance.
make that motion that we approve the insurance for the fire department.
I'll second that.
Yes. Roll call, Mark.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Yes.
Good? Ed, you want to take over roads? I have the
Okay.
same thing you
Before
have,
we
so.
do that, do you
Yeah.
want to go ahead and address?
Yeah.
Just to kind of let everybody know, we had some concerns and complaints about the fire station being unmanned. We had some emergencies, so I just wanted to give Vaughn an opportunity to address that.
Sure. It does happen. We do only employ one person at a time at the station for a 24-hour, 12-hour, whatever they're scheduled for. These employees volunteer their time. They pick what times they can work. It's not a full-time position. At times, people are called away. And one of them was called away. He was a National Guardsman, and he had to be called away for some training that he misunderstood the time, so he had to leave. We do send out pages and emails looking for people to cover when this happens. Most of the time, we do get somebody that's able to cover, but not always. And it's not something I want to happen, and that's why we're going through and trying to hire some more people so that you have more people to reach from. The only other way would be, if we could have multiple people working at a time, so if somebody does get sick or something, you'd have somebody else there. But unfortunately, that's not how we're set up at this time.
Can you tell us how we're covered when that does happen? So
When
people
that
know.
does happen, there's a text that goes out to all the firemen so that the volunteers that are home knows that it's unmanned so that they could maybe make a little extra effort to get there quicker. And we let the dispatch know, and then we set up an automatic mutual aid with the neighboring departments so that they know we're not there. A lot of people don't know, I am very proud of our department. Since this has started with our daytime and nighttime coverage, it does not happen very often. I'm talking a handful times a year at that. However, the other departments around have a lot more trouble. We're lucky we do have 30 members that we can pull from, some we don't. Every morning, we send out a fax, and the neighboring townships send out fax to let us know how many people they have on station and what their emergency level is, whether EMT, paramedics, advanced EMRs, what they are, so that each department knows, okay, You know, nobody's in Deerfield, so we're gonna be, we hear Deerfield go out, they're probably gonna be calling us. Vice versa. Or they know, if they need help, that maybe they'll call one of the other departments that are staffed versus calling the ones that are not. You know, we get them and they're not staffed, so we might go to a different department from each way if we need somebody. So, we are working out, there are always backup plans to just about any situation. That's kind of what we live in, our line of work is, plan B, C, and D, so.
And that also doesn't mean that one of our members that is home that just couldn't come in to man the station would not show up if there was an emergency. They may show up right away on scene, they could do that or something, so.
Well, and again, unfortunately also too, is, let's just say this happens once a year, twice a year, but when it does happen, then you have these people that just like to jump and say, no,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and that's just the nature of the beast, you know.
Just to ensure we have a plan to manage it when it happens, and we have a backup plan, and that way everyone can rest assured that there is a plan in place and that, you know, help is still available.
Anybody got any questions on that?
That's why we do recommend highly that if anybody does have an emergency, that they don't drive to the station and expect someone to be there, because we could be out on a call. Always call 911 first, and we'll come to you. I hear that happen a lot, where people actually drive to the car to the station, and then, so please call our dispatchers.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
so let's go to Ed.
Road department, it's a little more lengthy than what it has been in the past.
Yes.
As everyone knows, Vaughn said they did a good job keeping everything open. They tried to keep all the roads open too. We did have a lot of trouble. We started out with 3 trucks. We went down to 2 trucks, and then we went down to 1 truck because of breakdowns. The F-450, which is our dump truck that we use for everything. We plow snow with it, we pull our excavator with it. We use it to dig, that's where we put our dirt out of the graves. Everything we do with that 450. Transmission is now out of that 450. It's a 6-speed automatic, a lot of electronics in this transmission. We did everything we could do to check it out. We ended up having it towed to a Ford dealership. They looked at it a couple different times. They have told us that the transmission cannot be repaired. They have to replace the transmission.
Or rebuild it, the cost of that, and the time length would
Right.
be more so, yeah.
Right, so the transmission quote they gave us is for a new transmission. And whatever sensors are involved in the outside of that and everything. It's a 2012 truck with a little over 50,000 miles on it. We're gonna have another 6, 8, 10 years, I'm sure. The price is $9,000 to do that. A lot of money, but number one, you can't get trucks right now. I'll go on to that in a second, about truck situations. So what do you guys think about that night? It's a lot of money, but, and there may be a tow bill on top of that, a couple $100 that I don't know if we got it yet or not.
So
I'd
my-
like to speak with the insurance company to see if they cover any of that towing, but yes.
Yeah, our Tarma company might pay for some towing. I don't know if that's covered, but we can check on that.
So the 9,000 is for a new, it's not for a reman?
That is for a new transmission. It's got a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty with it.
And that,
That
no
is.
matter what, doesn't matter if it's a government or used commercial,
Yeah.
because a lot of times those warranties
Yeah.
would be void if
They
it's
told,
government
we
use.
talked to them today, they said 3-year unlimited mileage.
Gotta have the truck.
So we gotta say it's a lot of,
We can't go without it.
it's a lot of money, but unfortunately,
We use that
we
truck
need the
more than
truck.
anything else.
We've been without it for almost 2 weeks right now. And if we approve this tonight, they're talking somewhere around the end of the month before we get it back. By the time they get a transmission in, get it back together, and get it road tested and everything. So we're talking the end of the month.
And we can take that out of the road department funds.
Yeah, road department does have the money to pay for that in there. Unfortunately, I hate to spend it on it, but we have to have it, so. Based
Do
on that,
anything with the roads without it,
Yep.
so.
with that, I will make a motion that we do that $9,000 transmission replacement on the F-450.
I'll second.
Yes.
Hate to do it, but gotta do it.
Roll call, Mark,
Yes.
Ted,
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes.
Okay, the other truck is a low pro. It's 26 years old. The guys put an old road sign in the floor this year underneath their feet, behind the clutch and everything to keep from falling through. They've been plowing with it. Now there's a hole behind that patch they put. That's minor things right there. Every time this thing goes out, something breaks. Hydraulic hoses breaks, brake lines break. It's a rusty, beat up, horrible mess.
we've already decided pretty
We've
much.
already, I brought it up a couple meetings ago that we have to replace that truck. It's 26 years old, we have to have it.
Okay,
Now we're
normally,
at our Columbus Convention down there, all the truck dealers were there, Freightliner was there, Kenworth was there, Freightliner was there, Western Star was there. They're all quoting us delivery dates sometime March, mid-2023 to get a truck. They're not even available. They're quoting 2023. So we may end up having to plow with this truck another year, but
Well,
I just
then
want to bring
again-
that up because we had to put some repairs into it. Last time he was out, the exhaust totally fell off of everything. All the diesel fumes, everything coming right up in the cab right there. There was no back pressure and the turbo top speed was about 36 miles an hour. We ended up, I need to get this approved under emergency because I authorized taking it to get the exhaust put back on it. We had to have the truck. Based on that, it was $700 a Murphy muffler in there. They had to buy a part from the dealer for the turbo on down under the frame. They can't make one and nobody else had one. So that was over $300 for that one part. So I don't think the bill is excessive. based
no,
on
if we
that.
would have taken that to a regular dealer, it would have been $2,800, I can guarantee you that. It would have been just stupid money.
So if you guys are okay, I'm going to make a motion that we pay Murphy Muffler that $700 for the exhaust repair.
I'll
No.
second it.
And they did it right away for us and got it back on the road, so.
Do you second that?
I did,
I'll say yes.
Roll call, Mark.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
yes.
Let's see, our backhoe is an old backhoe. I'm not asking to replace it, however, we have been doing some repair work to it and everything. We don't use it all that much anymore because the excavator, but you did have to replace the front pins and bushings on the front end. Going down the road, that thing was wandering all over the road and bouncing everything. They got,
4-7.
our limit is $500 on repair stuff without, having to get approval and everything. I just wanted to bring this up, that they spent $470 on parts to do this, and our guys did it in-house. We didn't have to take it anywhere, so I'm not gonna make a motion that we pay that. It comes under our allowance for $500, but I want everybody to know that that was another expense we had. We have to have it to load our salt. Speaking of salt, we have 60 ton of salt contracted to get from Cargill. We are in good shape right now because we got tons and tons and tons of free salt given to us. But we are getting down on our salt supply and everything. We ordered this a couple weeks ago. They said as soon as they can get us a truck or a delivery date, they'll start delivering it. So whenever it gets delivered, I don't know. We're in good shape right now, but we do have some, we're contracted to buy that 60 ton. We're gonna need it, so it's gonna work out all right. I don't have anything else on the road department.
Now we just got the fire.
Cemeteries, since the last meeting, we've had one full burial. We've had 2 cremations since the last meeting. And I understand we have some cremations coming up, but they're basically on hold because of the weather. The people that came in and want the cremains buried. I understand that the weather's bad, a lot of snow, the ground's frozen, so they're going to hold it off until weather gets a little bit better. They're just letting us know we're gonna have them, so that helps us out a lot right there. We need a new door in the chapel at the Deerfield Cemetery. We have to get them a written estimate.
Another one?
Yeah,
Yes, because the other one's too.
that one's old and prices have changed and everything, so I will get that to them this week. For that, they're gonna consider it about paying for it and everything, and our guys will install that door. The bottom part of the door is rotted off and mice could actually run in and out of it. We've got it blocked off, but it has to be replaced, so. I'm gonna get that for the Cemetery Association and ask them to at least pay for the door.
We'll cover the labor and the transportation and all of that.
All that kind of stuff, yep. Along with this is kind of on buildings and grounds too. We've spent a lot of money, grant money, though it was on the circle for lighting and everything. It's looking good, looking better. Still needs some work, some adjustment done in the lights. Springtime's coming. If you drive through Randolph and everything in the summer, they've got beautiful big flower pots and all their poles and everything, lights flowing out of it. We have 8 light poles available on the circle. I would like to talk to you guys about us putting those same thing on our circle. They're a little pricey. Last year they were $165 to buy them new, but that included them filled and everything.
But we can actually get people to donate. I
Right.
know I will purchase one through Spillway Marine. We could probably get Deerfield Farms. We could probably, the
Civic
Circle Restaurant.
Association, I would probably donate one, so I'm gonna ask the community, anybody that has a business, something that would donate to that, it would be nice to have. It's kind of a commitment to do that. It's expensive initially. The next year, you take that basket back and they redo it for you for about $65 or $70. So the first year, you buy the big container, and after that, it's just refilling them up.
That's what, 100 and what?
60.
It was 165 last year.
A couple $100.
So it's less than 200, I'm sure, this year, but that'll get them for us. It is a commitment. Somebody has to water them every single day unless you wake up in the morning, it's pouring down rain. So we'll have to work those details out. One of those waterings a week has to be fertilizer, which they'll give us the formula, how to mix the fertilizer and all that kind of stuff. So what do you guys think?
Yes.
I think it'd be a great thing to do. And I think the community, like I said, I don't think that money out of the township pocket, other than for our guys watering, unless we can get volunteers also.
But 5 days a week, they're here anyway, so they're being paid to do something. They can run up first thing in the morning, water them, go about their business, or whenever they do it, it can happen. Weekends, we're able to figure something out on Saturday or Sunday, whether we water them, whether a volunteer does. We'll get that figured out. I just want to throw it out
Like I
there.
said, 8 of them, I don't think, as far as the cost, the initial cost, I don't think it'll cost us anything, because I think we could probably sell or get
I think
8
so
of them
too.
donated. I mean, right here, there's 2, 3.
I'll donate one.
So I'll make that motion, and we pursue that, and ask our, we'll actually pursue it through our local businesses.
I'll
and
second
stuff
that.
too, and see if they'll make a donation.
What's that?
Who does the planning in them?
I think we were going to go through the same nursery that did them for Randolph.
Wherever
Is that
Randolph
correct?
gets theirs, they were gonna give me the information and everything. It's somewhere up north.
Do they do Ravenna's too?
Probably. I mean, we can look around for different places now.
Lake
It doesn't
Milton
have
has
to be there.
them. They look very nice.
There's a lot of stuff in the Alliance area.
Yeah, we'll look, we won't just go there. We'll look around and see. I'm just,
Open to
Do
suggestions.
they provide the hardware too?
Oh, to put them on?
No, yeah, the baskets and
Yeah, the baskets are included, right?
yeah, baskets are included
We
in this.
probably have to put hardware on the
Oh,
light
yeah.
poles to attach them. Yeah, we would have to do that.
Well,
But that's just one with a couple of,
Couple
same thing that we
clamps
have
I'm
the,
assuming clamps of some type is what we'll do, whatever
same
it
thing with
is.
snowflakes are up with. They're the big
Yeah, I'm
clamps.
assuming we're gonna use the same thing the snowflakes on
fence
that.
wires and duct tape.
I
Real
don't think we have
fast.
anything on there. I think we actually do have brackets
I
with,
was one.
I'm kidding.
All right, so we'll go with that right there. We'll see what we can do in that.
Roll call, Mark.
yes.
Well, what are we voting on that we're just gonna
That
look
we're
Then we're gonna
into?
look into it. We don't have time to bring it up yet because it's not spring. So the next meeting we have, I think we'll have the information we need to make a decision if we're gonna go with it or not.
Oh, well, you made the motion, so I just
Yeah.
seconded.
Yeah. So roll call, Mark.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Yes,
to pursue.
to pursue.
One other thing, it seems early, but we need to talk about advertising for part-time help. One of our employees is off, had surgery, will be off somewhere around a month. We're good right now, we've got Buddy as one of our part-time guys right there. If summer's coming up with cemetery mowing and weed eating and all that kind of stuff, we need to talk about advertising to hire a part-time employee. For basically whatever they're capable of doing, whatever the township needs them to do on any given day. What do you guys think about advertising on websites and on the Record Courier?
We can talk about the website later, but yes, Record Courier, absolutely.
Yeah, and our sign out here too, right?
Yeah, we'll put it on our sign up there. And so anybody knows anybody looking for part-time work, let them know that this is going to be coming out to fill out to do a resume and give it to us. And
Do they have to be 18 or older?
Yes.
yes, our insurance requires that. They have to be able to drive our trucks and everything. Insurance will cover anything under that.
What's the time frame longevity?
Usually we start mowing sometime in April,
Late April, early May.
all the way
and
to
then it's-
November with the leaves.
Flip through October, November, depending on what the weather and everything.
The need for them may wax and wane, but we could keep them on staff as needed.
Yep.
So, on
Yep.
a part-time basis.
Buddy's been really good at coming in whenever we need him.
Thanks, buddy.
He shows up. Luckily, when we got big snow and all our trucks were broke, we had purchased that big tractor a couple years ago and had a push bar on, bar. If we wouldn't have had that, I don't know what we'd have done. The other townships were all busy, we couldn't have got a truck from them. So we'd have been in a mess. We'd have had private people out there with pickup trucks probably plowing the snow, but it would have got done.
I think our boys did so well, you know, with what we had. I mean, they did really well. And
That was a lot. of
even
snow.
versus townships that had all their trucks. I mean, they really humped.
That's all I have, but I know Tiffany, you got something to bring up?
I have a couple of new things and new business. Source books that we have for township business, including like our fiscal officer source book, trustee source book, and personnel management source book are greatly out of date. When we went to the conference, I looked into getting new ones. The cost of the 3-volume set and shipping that we would keep here for everyone's use would be $70. And I would like to order those, so we have those.
Okay, I don't think do we need to motion that under 500? But there's just one book is 70?
No,
Or the whole
70 for
set?
the whole set,
The whole set.
including shipping.
Which the price has come down, it used to be.
It's cheaper when you buy them as a set and
Right.
get them all shipped together. It's $60 for the books and $10 for the shipping.
Since you brought it up, I will make a motion to purchase those.
I'll second.
Yes,
Roll call, Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Tiffany.
yes. And just to bring something up, I'm interested in doing a leadership academy through the Ohio Township Association that happens later this year. It's a $100 course. And basically, it's about 35 hours of my time virtual and going to Columbus. It will help me be more effective in my role here. It will teach me a lot about things I can do for our township, and the entire cost of it is $100 for the course, and I would like to do that.
I'll make the motion that
Yep.
we go ahead and pay for that along with hotel, lodging, fuel, mileage.
Whatever comes up during.
Which is
that
limited,
course.
because it's one day where I actually have to go somewhere.
That's
Okay.
fine.
But yes,
And I would gladly second that.
yes,
Roll call, Mark.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes,
Tiffany.
yes.
that is a commitment. That's not something that you just go in for a 2-hour course and you get it. That's a very in-depth academy right
And
there.
I'm willing to spend the time to do it, and I
Yes.
think it would be helpful to get me up to speed on things, and so I can help Deerfield, so. And I have one more new business issue, is our website. I'm very passionate about getting us a website up and running again, so we can, put a community calendar, have all of the events on there, put advertisements, have a place where, I can't tell you how many people, and thank you everyone for showing up, ask me, when is your meetings, what
Yeah.
time? We don't have any place to do this. So our website now that we have was set up in 2014, and in the world of technology, that is a dinosaur. It can't even be used on a lot of mobile devices. We've got to update it. Originally, and don't quote me on this, I believe the cost was about $3,000 to get that website up and running, give or take.
Somewhere in that area.
So I have a contract here to get it up and running again for $1,500. The look will be the same. The entire thing has to be recoded. It's not usable the way it is. And I have not had the prosecutor look at the contract in good faith. We need to do that to make sure that we're entering a good business deal. But pending prosecutor approval, I would like to make a motion to have our website reformatted and up and running, and it would, at the cost of $1,500, pending approval from the
Is
prosecutor.
that money in the budget?
That's
We
the only thing I
have-
was
Is
gonna
the
ask
money
you.
in the budget?
We'll have to look at that too. That's gonna have to come out of the general
It
fund.
has to come out of the general fund.
So-
But I think it's so important, we're like one of the only townships that don't have this. It's just so important for the township to be able to communicate and for everybody to know what's going
It
on.
will
I'm
not
very
be-
passionate about this.
It will not be a chat room though.
It's
It'll
not a
just be
chat room.
Informational pages.
Informational, like I said, I'd like to have a working calendar where Vaughn can say, Tiffany, we're having an Easter event at the fire department. The Civic Association can say, we're having meetings. The Cemetery Association can say, we're having a meeting. It won't be for personal businesses, it will be for community functions, for community organizations, and for the township, for us to update everybody about what's going on.
And that will be something,
So-
the most part, you'll put that stuff on there. They'll contact you.
Yes.
And you will add it to the calendar and stuff.
So-
Okay, if the Historical Society wants to put something on there, just let me know. Everybody will have my contact and email. It's on the front door, and I'll get it on there for you in a timely fashion, so.
So that will
that's-
be pending the prosecutor and pending that it is in the budget.
And I believe, and this is from a website designer who is in Deerfield. So we're promoting Deerfield business. and also is, willing to work with me on this to get it the way we want it, so.
Well, you motioned that, and as long as it is pending the prosecutor and pending that we have the money in the general, I will second that.
So it would be WSV Marketing LLC. That's Bruce, he is a local resident here, and I'm gonna work with him to, I guess you could say I would be hosting the website if that's what you mean.
He's a web designer.
He's the web designer. He'd be setting it up, teaching me how to upload things, how to put our minutes, to do all of that, to facilitate it.
Do we know where the domain and server will be kept that's hosting the website?
I would imagine we do not know yet.
I believe that is
GoDaddy right now.
GoDaddy, yes.
Yeah, it's through a GoDaddy
It is
domain
through
right now.
GoDaddy now. I imagine it's going to stay there, but I can't tell you that with any certainty because we haven't started the process yet. So, do you have any advice or input on that?
I may, but.
Okay, I'd love to hear what you have to say.
What that is.
Okay, thank you.
So you made the motion, Mark second, and I will vote yes on that.
Roll call, Mark?
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes,
Anything else, Tiff?
that's it.
Anybody
I
out
see
in
people in
the audience have anything?
Bring business before the township.
Yes.
I don't know if this is the right place to bring it up or not, but I noticed our little town hall is falling down. Who's responsible?
Our town hall,
Our little town hall?
The old town hall?
The old town hall?
What's it doing?
It's falling apart. I heard before we're supposed to have a roof put on it.
We just repaired the roof, and
you
we're looking
repaired it.
into replacing that roof. Again, this all comes with budgets, and is it in the budget to do that? But it is
So
repaired,
it's our
there is no
responsibility.
leak. We upgraded the electrical service too, just recently, so.
You're absolutely right. The building needs repairs.
It needs
It's in poor
repair.
repair.
It needs a lot of
But
repair.
It
needs,
absolutely does.
I hate to see something happen. We've lost everything else in the township. I hate to see that go. That's about the only thing we got left beside the school. And pretty soon, when the guy can't afford the fuel for the school, we'll probably tear it down too, so.
We have no intentions of
Sad.
tearing it down. We
I
have no
hope-
intentions of using it for any other purpose at this time. We're looking into some options to where we might be able to do more with that. We're working with the Historical Society.
That
I'm
would
not
be
going to
awesome.
mention anything about it because nothing's in set, nothing's in stone.
Understandable.
It's important.
It is.
It is.
It's sad. It's important.
I like to go to the Saturday morning meetings and enjoy this.
I do too, but I don't like to sit in the cold, so I have a
Well,
problem.
right, it's an issue, and we're definitely trying to come up with some solutions, and it's a work in progress. But I thank you for bringing it up, because it is important, and I'm pretty passionate about it as well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
anybody else? Yes, sir.
I'm Brent Reagan, I'm the president of Southeast Youth Baseball and Softball,
Okay,
and I wanted to talk about the park this spring season coming up
okay.
and the fields. I know I spoke with you, Mark. when this-
Yeah, and I think did you post something on there that you would never come back to Deerfield too? I just had to put that out there because I remember that.
No,
Yeah, are you new to this, or are you this year new?
no, I've been president now for, 4 years?
Yeah, because there was something on the website that, I think you posted it, I think I had to
No.
find it on the Deerfield
Probably
site.
it was probably.
Wasn't me.
That you would never come back to the Deerfield to play ball ever again. But anyhow, go ahead.
No, wasn't me. Anyway, because I don't post anything. But anyhow, so now that spring's coming up, and of course you guys won the court case or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I spoke to Ed. I didn't really want to be a part of that fight, but when I became the president, and I had all the community wanting to know why we weren't playing, then I continued to fight. Okay? I spoke with you at length before, during, to try to come to the table and discuss it in the beginning. And then I've since, Ed's let me in to get my equipment things out, and I just,
Right.
basically, I want to know what's the plan moving forward.
Well, we have a lot of plans with that, getting grants and doing a lot of updates and making it a multi-use park, just not for baseball. One of the biggest reasons is for grants. If you have a multi-use park, there's so many more grants available than a single baseball park. We're not looking to add any more fields, keep the fields that we have, but we do have a lot of interest, and it's already set in there to do the soccer, lacrosse fields. We'd like to do volleyball, we have the basketball. There's a lot of things we want to do, update. the pavilion, we'd like to
Possibility of
eventually.
moving Apple Butter Festival
Festival
to
over here
that park.
also. So I think we have, we have rules and regulations for use of the fields. There's a contract, what the cost of it and, who's responsible for this and who's already on record. So we'll have, we
Do you
can
have a
pull that out.
proposal for us that you would like to propose to us, or can you come up with something, or?
Sure.
I guess, what are you asking for? I mean, I know the broad thing, what are you asking for? I understand all that, but.
But I remember, just to put this out there, Mark, when me and you spoke on the phone, you said that you didn't care if there was ever baseball and softball there, and you liked it the way it used to be.
I would like, yes, I did. I liked it when it was Deerfield based only, Deerfield teams, not where,
Right.
when they came up with
A
this.
lot of things in the past happened and were said, we really want to move
Just so
forward.
everyone
Right.
understands why it became Southeast, is because there wasn't enough kids in Deerfield
Okay.
to produce teams.
Okay.
That's why we merged, and Southeast became a blanket to cover the whole area.
Okay.
So,
Now, does Edinburgh still have theirs by themselves?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Edinburgh's the only one, or the Atwater?
Palmyra.
No, Palmyra too.
They have
Actually,
a-
one of the trustees went to the Palmyra meeting and offered them the use of the fields.
Right.
So I don't think it's,
No, absolutely. I mean, I want to use
The
those
last
fields.
Palmyra trustee meeting, there was a girl there that asked for exclusive use for the Palmyra girls softball, and they granted them the
yeah,
use of that
Palmyra
court.
just has softball, they don't have baseball.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, because you said the one that offered them the use, but that was for girls softball from Palmyra. 'Cause
No,
I was at that meeting.
I'm all about getting baseball going back, or softball, whatever we need to do, but I want to make sure it's a multi-use, and it's just not specifically geared towards just the baseball.
Right.
Because again, when we talked about lacrosse, we had the people, the coaches and the kids, they were all excited, they were willing to come down and help us with it. So that in the plan, and again, the biggest thing is the grants for us to get. If it's a multi-use park, there's so many more grants. So I can tell you, as far as my opinion, it is not going to be just a baseball, softball. It
We
will
want
be
it
a
to be
multi-use
baseball
park for
and
everyone.
so much
We
more.
don't have a problem with that.
Right.
We want to use